Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Monday? I see this is a 340th episode of Ho, and we're doing our 40th herb of the week. So I feel like there's a little 40 vibe going on. After the morning I had, I feel like maybe I'll go to the Five and Dime and get me a 40 to drink with lunch. No, it's not that bad. But I did have to spend like an hour on the phone this morning, like just taking care of business. I got a bill in the mail for my COVID test. They didn't even run my insurance. They just like sent me the bill and I was like, So that got taken care of pretty easy. And then I had to call the dentist for my daughter, who is in pain because whenever her composites fell out again. And they wanted her to wait like till like the first. And I'm like, no, like she's in pain now. So now they're going to get her in on Wednesday and call me if there's any other openings. And I'm like, crying out loud. And then I had to text my ex-husband because he was texting me and he's in pain and having trouble with his teeth. And it's like, oh my goodness, you guys, like, can we just knock this off? So anyways, good morning. I'm still a little shaky on the vocals, as you can tell, probably, but our herb of the week is fennel. And this week we're going to manifest more strength. So I thought, take your weak ass back to Ho and just go with it. You know, I'm just trying to go with it with all things. Just go with it. My family doesn't know. Like they are going to do Thanksgiving, but they're kind of like waiting to the last minute, like to make sure like everybody's healthy. And I'm like trying to just go with that, even though like I'm like, I don't know if I should go because November's been not really healthy for me. But my mom says I'm fine. I'm like, Mom, I don't really know if I should go. You're fine. Like, okay, Mom, but like, I don't know. So we'll see. All right, so I only have 2 cards. I don't know how Fennel even got unless I'm missing a card, but I could only find 2 Fennel cards, and one is the dragon butterfly that we are going to use Wednesday, and then one is an essential oil. So I'm like, do I have another Fennel card? I don't think so. I think probably what happened is we're on the 40th herb, and I scheduled 44 for 2020, so I kind of feel like these last ones, maybe I was like, I don't know who's left to do, you know? So maybe like the last handful of herbs, yeah, they're kind of the ones that like maybe only have a couple cards, and because I was sort of like, well, who else is there to do? So good job, Fennel. You got in somehow. I don't know how you got in. But I guess Fennel is the herb of the week. Now, the essential oil card, we've seen him before. He's sitting on a throne, like he's sitting on a throne, and he has his finger pointing up in the air. And this is the guy that always makes me feel like he's sending me to my bedroom, like, you're grounded. Go upstairs. No, he's just like not saying anything now. He's just pointing to the stairs, like, go to your room. You're in, go. That's what I always think about whenever I see him. I love the colors of his gown, cape, whatever attire. This is like Roman There's like these pillars in the back of him, but like he's got this beautiful turquoise and then a green, and I love turquoise and green, and he's got some gold edging on his robe dress thing as well, with a big old medallion on his chest. So this Fennel card, the key words on it are intensity and overpowering. Intensity and overpowering are the energetic words on this card. And then our other little Fennel card with a black swallowtail, beautiful butterfly dragon, its word is strength. So we'll see it again on Wednesday. So hey, it's just going to be an easy podcast, which I'm all right with that. You know, I'm all right to take it easy. Absolutely, a little bit. Take care of myself. This weekend I did feel much better, and so that meant like Saturday I had a burst of energy. Like when you just finally come out of like your coma a little bit and you're like, woohoo! And I just was happy for no reason and feeling good. And then yesterday I did an angelic herbs episode, which I still need to update that Instagram page, even though part of me is like, just delete this stupid Instagram page, not this one, angelic herbs. But then I kind of feel like I don't know what the future holds, and maybe I'll morph it into something else, or it won't be the first page I've deleted, whatever. So anyways, strength, intensity, overpowering. Maybe this is the energy that we need to tap into if we've been feeling weak, lethargic, just like, oh my gosh, I don't know. We'll just check out these cards. If I find another card in my journey this week, I'll come back and just add on a segment. But apparently Fennel got in with only 2 cards. So lucky you, Fennel. And one's an essential oil, which one time, like, I've had Fennel lip balm or something, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I like Fennel. I just was at Aldi's on Saturday, and they had African curry cheese puffs or something, and I was like, yeah, I'll take some of this. And I love it because there's fennel in it. So I like that curry with a little flavor of fennel. And, fennel, I think, right off the top of my head, like, well, how would you use that as an herb? It's good for gassy things, I think you see it in, like, colic blends. Thinking of that, I should get out my nerdy folder and see. Yep, I opened up my nerdy filing system right to fennel. Let's see if there's a nerdy card in here or something. There's some information cards. So yeah, one time I grew fennel. It's beautiful. Like, I bought some at the market another time. There's no cards, but there's big cards like Fennel Oil, Fennel Tea, and then the fennel. And so I bought some fennel and I made some Fennel Broth. So I guess that's kind of the same as tea, like a fennel veggie stock. And I just drank it. I just drank the broth because the fennel itself is like too chewy, but it still had so much good flavor. Now you can use the fennel seeds. It says, let's see here. Fennel secured its place in the annals of folk medicine thanks to Pastor Sebastian Knepp, who was affectionately known as the water doctor. He used a hot infusion of crushed fennel seeds to cure stubborn cases of coughing, whooping cough, asthma, and lung problems. So I should drink some fennel. I don't know if I have fennel seeds. Probably not. I'd have to look. I would have to look. But today fennel is more commonly used to relieve digestive ailments, including bloating and stomach pain. I could have used fennel last night because, this weekend I was just like, I need some meatballs. Like, I just wanted to eat some meatballs and sauce, and I don't usually eat spaghetti sauce or meatballs, and I was like feeling it last night. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I could get indigestion. You could do a daily rinsing with fennel seed mouthwash, and that would inhibit the formation of tooth decay and keep your breath fresh, and good way to keep the lining of your mouth clean and healthy. So this is like one of those teas that's like, yeah, you can swish it around. It feels really good. Sometimes at an Indian restaurant, you'll see fennel seeds in a little dish for afterwards. You just chew on them. Yeah, they do have a strong anise flavor. So do you like licorice or not? You may or may not like the taste of anise, but if it helps get rid of your gas and flatulence, and it can be used for a poor appetite too, and other digestive problems. And it's just, pretty gentle to use the seeds. You could even use it as an eye wash, and if you crush the seeds, they'll taste a little stronger and maybe a little more bitter. Just know that. You can use a compress with the leaves and seeds, and it helps with pain, I guess. So yeah, if you have fennel in the garden, make yourself some tea. It's pretty gentle. You can use it for children and even infants. It's good for bronchitis and coughing and whooping and asthma and flatulence, all types of congestion. It does have some gentle mucus dissolving properties, and it can be used as an expectorant. So yeah, you don't really think of that, as being such a powerful plant, fennel, but it is. You'll see it in mother's milk teas because it promotes lactation, and also everything that you drink as a nursing mom comes out of your milk, and so it could help with your baby's colic as well, just through the milk. So yeah, fennel, I like it. It's not always something that I think about or want, but I was thinking I really maybe need to devote December to getting off of my black tea and milk kick, and just do watery teas and juices, and maybe get back on the celery juice, and yeah, maybe drink more fennels and dill seed, and just get my body cleaned out again. Now we'll also talk about the fennel oil. Fennel is calming, I think, and it can be used for nervousness and tension. So, and think about how this would smell. 3 drops of fennel oil, 2 drops of rose oil, and 2 drops of sandalwood oil. And that's for reducing stress and nervousness while also providing a sense of strength and courage. So you put that in your diffuser. Fennel, rose, and sandalwood, which who can afford rose and sandalwood, And I never see fennel for sale. I'd have to special order that. I don't see it usually on the aromatherapy display, but I do like fennel. Oh, like Tom's of Maine toothpaste, that has fennel in it. And that's pretty good. And yeah, it helps with bad breath. It helps alleviate inflamed gums when it's in your toothpaste, like that. Some people even put fennel oil in their massage oils. It can help with the tone of the skin. So yeah, fennel oil, and maybe some nursing oil for chapped, sore breasts. It would be good in something like that. Inhalations with the fennel oil to alleviate coughing and loosen phlegm, clear the respiratory passages, make breathing easier. Just inhale the vapors. They also massage with fennel oil, and in a bit, they dilute it. Just add 4 drops into your oil or your bath to help with gout, or just conditioning the skin. You could rub that on your belly for bloating. So yeah, the essential oil, of course, is more powerful. You only use it in small doses. It could cause skin sensitivities and allergic reactions. Never take fennel or any other essential oil internally. And It says no essential oil of fennel for pregnant women and children under 10, and epileptics should also avoid it too, as it could trigger seizures. But for everybody else, it would be helpful to cleanse and detoxify the body, and maybe even regulate menstrual cycles, fight urinary tract infections, and yeah, inhale it for all that respiratory stuff. And I think that would be a nice, like, just a drop in your face oil if it helps tone the skin. But yeah, it says used to treat digestive problems, bladder infections, hiccups, nausea, edema, poor skin and muscle tone, menopausal symptoms, and anxiety, to help detoxify and cleanse the body. So anyways, there, we'll just get a little nerdy to take up a few minutes more with our herb of the week, fennel. Yeah, nerdy fennel. Na. Yeah, where's all this junk in my throat? So yeah, I need to get on some fennel. I'll see if Walmart pickup has it on their app. I'll just pick up some fennel. Yeah, the top of it like the seed heads and the flower and seed heads reminds you very similar of dill, you know. And I absolutely love, I love it. I mean, you could look at this and somebody who didn't know would think, oh, that's dill, but it's fennel. But it is fennel. I love the leaves. It looks like something that could be living underwater. So anyways, yeah, get sweet fennel oil if you're looking for it. But they even have a folk remedy here that you heat 1 tablespoon of crushed fennel seeds and 1 cup of whole milk until the mixture boils. Strain and slowly sip the hot liquid. Strain and slowly sip the hot liquid. Okay. Put that on my speech therapy practice list. Okay, so while we're talking about the oil, let's do the Oracle of the Essences card first, and then we'll finish with our dragon butterfly, since we'll see him again on Wednesday when we manifest more strength. But yeah, so strength is definitely one of the energetic connections with fennel oil. And even on that aromatherapy card, that mixture of fennel, rose, and sandalwood, it was for nervousness and tension, but also providing a sense of strength and courage. So yeah, strength and courage. Of course, we see with this guy in the chair who's sending us up to our bedrooms that maybe it can be too overpowering. It is a very strong oil. You got to be careful with it. And maybe like 1 drop probably goes a long way. You could probably overdo it in a blend, and then you just smell like fennel. Got that weird fennel residue going on. I'd be okay with it, So let's talk about fennel. Intensity, overpowering, satiated. She has that word here. Dr. Seuss said, you have to be odd to be number 1. So what a good sense of humor. Odd number 1. You have to be odd to be number 1. So fennel is eccentric and fun and patient. It's very open-minded. It is very open-minded when in a good mood. When fennel is on the positive aspect of the essence, the life dial will be turned to exciting mode, feeling that there is nothing that cannot be handled. So there's a lot of good energy here with fennel. Like, I can handle anything. There is nothing that cannot be handled. Like, I got this. Now, fennel is connected to the solar plexus chakra. So that's like your place of power and will. The fennel seed is a very small seed with big flavor. The fennel personality will definitely not pass unnoticed. However, Fennel can be controlling and overpowering, expressing their self-esteem issues by degrading others. Fennel can be so self-absorbed sometimes that it will become blocked and isolated. So I like how Monica the Enchantress, really gives each oil in this book like the good and the bad. Same with the other essential oil deck that I have. It's got the positive attributes, but then when it's on the positive side, but then we can also go negative when we're just like us, like when we're not at our best. Like, yeah, you might have a lot of determination as a person, but yeah, sometimes we can take that too far. I get it. Now, fennel is amazing for the stomach. It aids with feelings emotionally, like of inferiority and rejection. So if you're feeling inferior or you've had a lot of rejection, it likes to be the one that advises, as it knows how the rules of society are played. So more strength, more courage, more ability to be able to handle things with feeling capable. Like, that's a good feeling, to feel capable. Fennel is always moving and always looking for solutions. So here's the divinatory meaning. You can see fennel like a person of authority, as though about to give someone a verdict. If this card comes to you in a reading, you should assess the situations in your life in which you have been enforcing too much control. This card encourages you to let go of power and let the situation unfold normally. What have you been putting so much effort into that is still unproductive and frustrating? Rigidity is rarely beneficial. Ooh, so it's like sometimes we're just like try to like make things happen, like, but yet like we've been trying and it's still unproductive. It's still frustrating. Like, what would happen if we just let go of the reins and see what happened? Like, all right, like I'm trying, like you've been pushing the cart uphill. It's not working. Just let it go. Watch it roll down the hill. Go another way. Maybe sometimes that's the message, It's like, maybe there's an easier way. Maybe things in our life aren't working because there's actually an easier way to do it. The affirmation is, I will trust my process and celebrate my progress. I enjoy flexibility in every aspect of my life. So more flexibility in every aspect of our lives. Actually trusting the process. Sometimes it's like we're so ready for something to manifest. We're hungry for it. But it's like, could you just enjoy the hunger, the process, the wanting, the unfolding, like the desire to have it happen? Because once it's completed, it's completed. Like, are there some things that you can just enjoy where you're at, how it's going? And then, yeah, maybe just let some things unfold more naturally without you putting all the effort into it. Just something to think about, absolutely. But I do love that, we really do want to feel confident in our solar plexus area and being able to handle things and getting like a genuine, true self-esteem, like feel good about yourself and not be degrading to others. I think that's a great lesson from Fennel. It's like you don't need to put anybody down for you to feel good. Like, just feel good, and you don't want to always be condescending or like this guy. Like, he kind of makes me feel bad. Like when I look at him, like I said, like I feel like we're in trouble and we're getting sent to our room, So there is that, watch out for that. Like have strength, but don't be so intense that, yeah, nobody wants to be around you because, you're just totally self-absorbed. And then you become isolated, and then you become blocked, and then you get a lot of mucus in your throat. All right. Are we ready for this black swallowtail dragon? I don't even know how it's balancing on this delicate fennel top. We will see. Oh my gosh, you guys. I almost did it again. Okay, so I just took a rather long break. I don't even know what time I started this podcast, but now it's 11:19. And I'm thinking, like, I know I have another fennel card. Like, this mother trucker didn't get it on the list with only 2 cards, did he? And then, da-da. It's not ta-da, because didn't feel that great. It was more like a da-da. The Herbal Tarot, the 4 of Wands is fennel seed. And this is like one of my favorite cards, actually. There's these 2 little fairies fluttering amongst the flowering tops of the fennel plant. And then there's the 4 wands in the background. So anyways, yeah, we have another card. It's called the 4 of Wands. And I'm like, why do I keep forgetting about the Herbal Tarot? Well, I keep it on the bookshelf, not with my other oracle decks, because I have the ongoing series at Herbal Marie where we're going through all of the cards. So I always keep it out because, like, I need to keep working on those podcasts and that project. So yeah, like I forgot the Herbal Tarot for raspberry, and here I almost did it again for fennel. But I remembered. Then I also made myself some throat coat tea, which has fennel seed in it. And like, I mean, God bless this throat comfort. I think it's actually Yogi throat comfort. And sometimes you can get traditional medicinals throat coat, or you can get Walmart cheapo throat care. You don't need love. You are the love. Yeah, this is Yogi. I'm so sick of this tea though. Like, I really am, like, so sick of this sweet licorice. I mean, but that's what your throat wants. But I'm just saying, after a month of it, I'm like, oh my God. I just want to drink coffee. Decaf. So I also made that. Could I just get something bitter and creamy? But all right. So there goes my throat again. But like, so we have another card, which I'm glad I remembered now and not later. We still have the black swallowtail here on the fennel. And like I said, we'll talk about this card again. But yeah, I mean, you can actually use the entire plant for cooking. It has medicinal and magical uses. In England, farmers would rub a concoction of fennel, salt, and soap. Fennel, salt, and soap on the blades of their plows to make the earth stronger and encourage a better crop. So yeah, back when farmers were using an intention and not these modern inventions, right? Like if farmers around here, like if they rubbed their blades with anything, it'd be like Roundup. So fennel, salt, and soap. That is cute. The Romans chewed it for courage and strength in battle. And yeah, like we talked about, medicinally, digestive aid, colic in babes. And it has a slight anise flavor. So this is interesting. One of the 3 main herbs used in the creation of absinthe. There we go. I'll put that on my list of things to drink this week. But yeah, today with the black swallowtail, and again on Wednesday, it's going to ask us, in what ways am I strong? And how can I tap into my strength and use it willfully in my life? So, in what ways are you strong? And like, don't limit yourself to seeing strength as like guns and muscles. you know, like, yeah, like we can be very physically strong, but sometimes strength comes from being a sweet little fairy, from being able to float above the drama. Sometimes strength comes from detaching and letting things unfold naturally. Sometimes strength comes from vulnerability. Like, I'm reading these Lynn V. Andrews medicine woman books, and a lot of times she gets saved because all she can do is stand there and cry. And like, it's actually her weakness that brings her safety and strength. And so, anyways, in what ways are you strong? It's like, yeah, like you maybe can't like move big pieces of furniture, but you've got this endurance that it's like life just throws you all types of situations and you just keep on trucking. Strength appears as a firm reminder that you have a deep well of fortitude within you. And there is great power in knowing who you are and what you do well. So dig deep into that solar plexus area. Find a solid base to anchor yourself. Muster the might, endurance, confidence to do what must be done. And don't be afraid to ask for help. If you can't do it all, ask for help. The Four of Wands, there's not one fairy, there is two. They're kind of joined at the elbows, like holding onto each other's waists, and they're helping each other or being with each other or maybe emotionally supporting each other so they can be stronger. So when we come together, we are stronger. Like we truly do need and benefit from supporting each other and helping each other. Lean on me when you're not strong, the whole deal. So in vulnerability, we can find seeds of strength we never knew we had. So think about the times that's like, dang, like I don't even know how I got through it, but I did. So therefore, I am much stronger than I even realize sometimes. And tap into that knowing and just keep on going. All right, keep on going. So I also have a load of laundry going because I bled on like 3 pairs of underwear. And I was like, you better get these in the wash. My neighbor, there was an old lady that died down the street. And so my neighbor was like, hey, do you want a bag of these pads? Like many packages of these pads. Like, because this woman was hoarding them. Like she probably hadn't had her period in 30 years, but like she still had all these pads. So I'm trying to use up these old pads that I swear from the 80s and probably made with asbestos. But anyways, they have no adhesive hardly left on them. So they're shifty. And they're just like, I'm trying to use them up, but apparently I need to wear like my tightest pair of underwear, like my tightest pair of granny panties with these pads. So they kind of try to stay in place. But they were free. Okay. So I'm trying to use them up. All right. Anyways, got the laundry going. Got our Four of Wands here. Just told you a magical story. Four of Wands, fennel seed. Okay, so yes, Walmart pickup does have organic fennel seeds in their little glass spice jar. I couldn't find any fresh fennel, but if you really want to connect with fennel seeds, your spice aisle at your grocery store will have some for you. If not, you could use cumin seed, anise seed, or star anise. Those are the herbal allies for the Four of Wands. With these really cute fairies, you guys, they are so sweet. In many ancient traditions, it is the angels or the devas who concern themselves with the maintenance of all existence and life. Here we find 2 of these experiencing the joy of a day's completion. Implicit in this scene is the subtle need to release the tension and pressure involved in completing a task, to experience completion before going on to the next task. So how do we do this? Well, we make time to be together, we play together, and that teaches us the value of cooperation and prevents the dangers of egocentricity and over-seriousness. So these fairies are angels or devas, plant guardians, and they're just like, yo, we did everything. Come on, girl, let's have a little fun, let's not be too serious about this. There will be more work tomorrow. We're in this together. We'll get it done. And another message of this card from the Herbal Tarot by Michael Tierra says, allow your talents and skills to flow and be shared. Be unafraid to live up to your potential and allow your inner light to shine through. That is going to be the theme for December and January, you guys. Allow your inner light to shine through. It's so important for you to do this more and more and more until you're just like lovingly blasting everyone's ass with your beautiful inner light. You have to. I have to. I have to allow my talents and skills to flow and be shared. Allow myself to just give and shine and be, because the world needs it. We need it. We need it. Anyway, so we can use fennel this week. Physically, energetically, spiritually, however we want to connect with it, to allow ourselves a greater sense of groundedness. It grows in the ground. It's like a bulb, kind of bulby onion thing. Allow joy to penetrate one's being. So here's an idea with the fennel oil, like one drop of the essential oil, or if you can just maybe crush the seeds and let that infuse in oil for a couple weeks. You could make it like that too, I think. Rub some of that oil on the soles of your feet and dance to the rhythms of life. Just even crush a fresh sprig of fennel and smell it and let its aroma fill you with healing earth energy and help you to release any hesitations you may have with regards of finishing the project at hand. So it's like me coming back to finish Ho in 2020. Thank you, Fennel, for reaffirming that was the right intuitive nudge. Like, get yourself back here. You are strong enough. You don't have to be at 100% full power, like you can be on low battery mode and keep on going, okay? Finish your projects. Finish your tasks at hand before you start another one. And there are new things that I want to do in 2021. I mean, in a big way, in my life, I'm going to devote myself as a student for the Course in Miracles and do podcasts about that at Sadecast. I'm just going to read the lessons and maybe share thoughts on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure if I'm like, if I want to share my thoughts on it or if I just want to absorb it more. Do you know what I mean? But it's still, nonetheless, it's still a new project. So it's like, I got to wrap up 2020 before I do that. We got to wrap up our manifest more that we've done in 2020 before we move on to 2021 where we power up. Like, we got to finish. So we're back. We're going to finish. And we're going to try to bring in more joy and more playfulness and more life And find some friends that we can have some fun with. That's what Fennel wants you to do. Find some friends whom you can share some fun and just play with life more. Play with nature more. Play with the fairies more. Play with the plant devas more. Play with the wind. Play with the sun. Play with the plants. Play with the animals. Play with everyone. So you can actually eat fennel stalks and the roots. It's just like celery. You can make a tea with the seeds. It'll help stimulate your appetite, your digestion, eliminate gas, menstrual cramps, abdominal pains. It's very, very helpful. Very similar to anise seed. So if you don't have fennel, but you have anise, they're both good for that kind of stuff and bronchitis and coughs. You can make a strong tea. You can make an infusion with the seeds, and it's gentle enough for eye wash. If you had pink eye, conjunctivitis, inflammation of the eyelids, anything like that, just use a warm compress, not too hot, but fennel seed. And also it is good for mother's milk, and it's in my throat comfort tea. And you can often combine it with marshmallow root in that mother's milk to increase the richness of the milk. You could dry roast the seeds, and that will help relieve the pain of testes, like testicles, testes and urinary bladder pain, anything like that. So if you just want to carry around some fennel seeds in your pocket or your pouch to remind you of these messages, you can do that. You can breathe in their message. Get some fresh fennel, breathe it in. I told you I got that fennel at the market and it just was too fibrous to eat, but I drank the broth and it was delicious. And use these seeds for any type of gas, indigestion, abdominal pains. You can take it right after meals or first thing in the morning to regulate digestion and the circulation of energy throughout the body. So, and yeah, I'd never really think of it as an expectorant, but like that's not my first thing that I think of when I think of fennel, but it is very helpful with that. And gynecological complaints. All right. My nerds should be so friggin' happy with this podcast. Like, yeah, there was that sort of like, maybe not necessary story about my bloody underwear. But other than that, this has been a very nerdy, satisfying podcast. And emotionally too. Like, don't you just want to tap into the strength and confidence that fennel can help us feel? I feel greater self-confidence by quietly recognizing my many gifts and accomplishments. So those are those two fairies on this card. They want you at the end of your little work day, or maybe several times during the day, like, all right, is lunchtime now? It took me all morning to do a few things, but think about it, Sadie. You made important phone calls, you set up appointments, you cleared up $100 and whatever dollar bill, right? That was good. You're getting a text message from your mom. You're going to text her back. You talked to your ex-husband on the phone. He got a tooth pulled. You know, it was really and is really infected. So, you know, you were compassionate to him. It's like just take a minute and think about what you just did this morning. You got laundry going. You fed the rabbits. You might even do a few more things in the next 20 minutes. You know, it's like, take time to just quietly recognize your many gifts and accomplishments and what you get done, and just let it fuel your self-confidence. You know, let it just build your inner courageousness. Let it strengthen your solar plexus, your place of power. If you want power, if you want more power, you need to give it a place to live. You need to feed it. You need to nurture it. You need to make it feel welcome, make it feel, you know what I mean? You gotta stoke your own fire. And you can do that quietly. And you can do that subtly. And you can do that with everything. Like, yeah, it's like probably not like, you know, like you don't need to probably post it on Facebook that you caught up with the laundry. But definitely celebrate that for yourself. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our herb of the week, fennel, and I'm so glad we're saying these together. I cultivate strength in myself and others. I am strong and confident. I relax and find my courage. There is nothing that cannot be handled. I trust my process. I celebrate my progress. I enjoy flexibility in every aspect of my life. I cultivate strength in myself and others. I am strong and confident. I relax and find my courage. There is nothing that cannot be handled. I trust my process. I celebrate my progress. I enjoy flexibility in every aspect of my life. And so it is. I'm really so thankful that I remember the Four of Wands with the Fennel Fairies, because we do want to share our successes. You know, we really do want to have pleasant thoughts about ourselves and others. And yeah, let's get this done before we move on to another cycle or another task. And let's dance and move and flow with life with more joy and more strength. And yeah, sometimes more intensity, right, Fennel? I see that guy sending me up to my bedroom. And you know what else I see? I see this butterfly dragon and these fairies not paying any attention to him at all. So I'm just gonna hang out with the fairies. Would you like to join me? Like, seriously, like, good job, end of day. Let's just, you know what? Rest and relax and find our courage that way too. You know, strength definitely needs to be balanced. But I love the overall message of our herb of the week: confidence, and being strong and cultivating strength in ourselves and others, not putting other people down. Let's build each other up and trust the process and celebrate the progress. And oh my God, yes, let's try to be more flexible, especially physically. Like, I think that's going to be my goal for 2021. Yeah, enlightenment and ascension and all that shit, but also just like to touch my toes. Just like to be more flexible and not have my hamstrings get so angry. Yeah, real goals, you guys. Real goals. All right, so thanks for joining me for our 40th herb of the week, fennel.